Welcome to the Scarlet Rage Prevention Tape. This tape will inform you about the symptoms of the disease and what to do when you come face to face with an infected, and how to protect yourself. Let's get on with it. The disease, given the name the Scarlet Rage, red fever, and the rage plague among others, is a virus that transmits via bites, infected blood, or consumption of infected food or drinks. If not taken care of in the early stages, this disease is 100% fatal. For viewing purposes, let us look at a very famous example of this infection in action, by looking at Shiver Hagojiro. Shiver was one of the singers of Deep Cut. One day, her and her friends decided to eat out at a fancy sushi restaurant. It is believed that a salmon was infected, and unknowingly served to Shiver. She ate this infected fish, and the infection took hold very fast. This is Shiver before the infection. This is Shiver after. Some early prevention measures you can take are washing your hands, immediately bandaging any open wounds, learning self-defense, and disinfecting yourself and your home. The disease cannot survive without a host, so cleansing yourself and your living space is an excellent way to prevent infection before it can begin. But what about those who are not so fortunate? Stage 1 of the infection brings a mild fever and chills, minor tremors in the arms, excessive sweating, itchy and irritated eyes, paranoia, and confusion. If you are bitten on a limb, seek immediate amputation. If the limb is amputated within 6 hours of initial contact, your chances of infection are lowered dramatically, but this odds increases the longer you wait. If you encounter a stage 1 infected, contact your local authorities for immediate quarantine. Stage 2 of the infection begins about 2 to 3 days after the initial infection. Symptoms being bloodshot eyes, abnormal claw growth, fear of any drinkable liquid, excessive drooling, nosebleeds, worsening tremors, constant yelling and screaming, tentacle melting and ink darkening, limb growth, and the compulsion to claw or tear at one's skin. Victims at this stage have been recorded stating that they feel something crawling under their skin. Whether this is true or just a delirium-fueled hallucination is currently unknown. A way to tell if someone is a stage 2 infected from far away is how they walk. If they stumble over their own feet, have an uneven gait, or any other anomalies with their posture or movement, this is a sign of infection. If you encounter a stage 2 infected, stand at least 10 feet away from the infected, and contact the authorities for either quarantine or termination, whichever they deem fit. Do not listen to the pleas of the infected, they are too far gone. Stage 3 of the infection occurs anywhere from 3 to 5 days after stage 2. At this stage, the victim's voice becomes faint and weak, and they become violent to anyone nearby. The flesh around the mouth and nose starts to rot and fall off, exposing bone and muscle. The sclerae of the eye are now a deep red, and the victim's vision is at its worst. The body contorts even more, the limbs and torso stretching, as the body gets thinner from malnutrition. The only sound victims can produce at this stage are growls and hisses. If you come across a stage 3 infected, do not panic. Stay calm and control your breathing. Slowly walk backwards, keeping your eyes in the infected. Once you are a safe distance away, about 6 feet away, you can turn and make a run for it. If you have a weapon, preferably long range, you can take extermination matters into your own hands. Aim for the brain, this is the quickest way to kill an infected. Most victims die at this stage, but if they don't, they move on to stage 4. Stage 4 of the infection is the most dangerous. The victim is not blind, the damage to the eyes now finally too much. But their hearing has been dramatically improved. The victim can scream again, this time mimicking screams and cries for help, in an attempt to lure survivors to infect them. It is best to stay away from areas where stage 4 infecteds usually occupy, such as bodies of water, tunnels, or alleyways. A sound of wheezing is a telltale sign a stage 4 infected is nearby. If you come across a stage 4 infected, do one of 4 actions. Run. Make a run for it, if you are not prepared. The infected may hear you, but they won't be able to see you. Hide. The infected cannot see via typical means, so hide behind anything you can. In trees, behind walls, under tables, or in buildings are great hiding spots. Remember, this is not a permanent solution to your predicament. Fight back. If you are cornered, grab whatever you can and start fighting back. The infected will either die, or lose interest and run away. Make your escape then. Or submit. If you can't run or fight back, it is best to just accept. This disease is as deadly as it is elusive. The scientists at the Splatoon Disease Control Center are trying their best to determine the origin of the disease, and a cure for it. An important note is that the disease does not affect only inkfish. All species can get this disease. Anemones, shellfish, urchins, crustaceans, and even isopods can get infected. Nobody is safe.